Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back ranking all 6 movies in the Sharknado franchise. As I mentioned in a previous ranked video, Jason and I will not only be ranking franchises we included in Franchise Frenzy, but from time to time, we'll be ranking other franchises as well. They're sort of the alternates, or what we like to call the forgotten franchises. When it comes to this one, though, we didn't forget Sharknado. We just didn't own all of the movies when Franchise Frenzy began. I had only owned the first 3, and had only seen the first 2. Jason had also only owned the first 3 when Franchise Frenzy started. Yes, we could have included Sharknado and just picked up the last 3 when we got to them. But since we included 60 franchises, we needed to include some guidelines for ourselves. One of them was that we needed to own all movies in a franchise if we were going to include it before Franchise Frenzy began. Well, over the last couple of months, we both picked up this Sharknado The Complete Collection Blu-ray set, which includes all 6 movies. And with this being month 6 of Franchise Frenzy, it's fitting that we rank this franchise now. Not only that, but our theme for Monthly Theme Thursday this month is made-for-TV horror. And of course we know Sharknado is a made-for-TV horror franchise. In preparation for these videos, as always, Jason and I watched all 6 Sharknado movies together. I cannot express how impressed we both were with this franchise. We both said we wish we had included it in Franchise Frenzy. This may be one of the best-paced franchises ever. Every one of these 6 movies absolutely flies by. This series is an absolute blast, and I loved every one of these films. This franchise also features one of the most badass male leads in Finn, played by Ian Ziering, in addition to some of the most badass female characters. Sharknado, in my opinion, is extremely underrated. I feel that some people see it as a joke, especially those who haven't actually watched these films. But I can assure you there's a reason why they were so popular when each of them premiered. These were a big deal. My son was a big fan of them when they first came out, and I appreciate this franchise now more than ever. I'm sad there are only 6 of them. I want more. I can assure you this was a tough ranking for us. Like with all of my other rankings, I will start with my least favorite and work my way to my favorite Sharknado movie. Typically, my criteria is nostalgia, rewatchability, and overall enjoyment. The thing is, this entire franchise is highly rewatchable, and there is a lot of entertainment value in all 6 of these movies. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and you don't have to agree. For me personally, this is Sharknado Ranked. In last place, or number 6, I actually have the original Sharknado. This is the one that started it all, and I still love it. I think it's so much fun. It introduced us to Finn, played by Ian Ziering, and April, played by Tara Reid, and a wealth of other characters. There's the gorgeous Nova, of course, and the late John Hurt as George. I love that this first movie, along with its sequels, takes what might seem like a silly concept seriously. They somehow, for the most part, make it seem plausible. Especially this first film. This franchise is self-aware. It knows what it is and celebrates it, and I applaud that. This was a great start to the series, but the original Sharknado is in last place for me. Coming in at number 5 is Sharknado 2, the second one. It's funny, this is one of those franchises when I watch each film I think, okay, this is gonna be my favorite. I went into it thinking nothing will probably beat the first one because I had remembered loving it. It's so much fun. Then we rewatched Sharknado 2 and I thought, wow, I like this one even more. The original was set in California, but the sequel takes us to New York. Seeing sharks in a high-rise and sharks in the subway is pretty damn awesome. I also love the introduction of the additional cast, including Carrie Werrer as Finn's sister. And then there's Mark McGrath, lead singer of the band Sugar Ray, as Finn's brother-in-law. Vivica A. Fox is introduced into this one as Sky. And this one ends in a way that greatly affects the rest of the franchise. But as much as I love it, Sharknado 2, the second one, is second to last. Coming in at number 4, and this was close. I mean really, really close. I mean, I'm deciding right now in the moment. And I'm gonna go with the last Sharknado, It's About Time, which is Sharknado 6. It's so close, I'm already almost thinking about changing my mind. But I won't. I'll commit to the decision. The last Sharknado, It's About Time, is cleverly titled because the movie is literally about time. In this final film in the franchise, Finn and his friends must travel through time to save the world. They don't just battle sharks in a Sharknado, but dinosaurs as well. They fight in the Revolutionary War, find themselves in the Old West, get to witness 50s beach dancing firsthand, and make their way through other decades on their way to a satisfying finale. I love what they did with this last film. After traveling to so many places in the previous movies, there was nowhere else to travel but through time. And I really do love how it all concludes. The last Sharknado, It's About Time, is number 4. But it's close. In third place, I have Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens. Maybe my favorite title in the franchise. No, not maybe. It is. My favorite title. This one even opens with a classic Star Wars scroll. Not only do we get plenty of Star Wars homages, but a ton of horror and other movie homages as well. Christine herself makes an appearance in Sharknado 4. Christine, the car. And speaking of making appearances, the cameos in this franchise are like nothing else. It's familiar face after familiar face after familiar face. It never ends. We get famous people from movies, TV, and other areas of pop culture. There is also an obvious trend in this franchise when it comes to appearances that makes me love it even more. But I won't get into specifics. Let's just say I find it very refreshing. The Fourth Awakens begins in Vegas and takes Finn through the Midwest. We get more than just Sharknadoes in this sequel. It's a wild ride from start to finish, just like the rest. Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens, is at number 3 in my ranking. In second place, I have Sharknado 5, Global Swarming. Another tongue-in-cheek title that is not just clever, but fitting. In this fifth entry, Finn and his group travel the entire world fighting Sharknadoes. England, Holland, Brazil, Italy, Tokyo, Egypt. Other nations feel the effects of the Sharknadoes as well. I'd say this might be the most ambitious Sharknado movie, but I'd probably be lying, because they're all so ambitious. This one starts out like Raiders of the Lost Ark, with the same title font and all. I love seeing the characters in the different countries. The snowboarding and skiing sequence in Holland may be my favorite in the film. Although, again, I might be lying, because there are so many great ones from which to choose. Sharknado 5 Global Swarming is just awesome, and I considered having it at number 1. Again, it's very, very close. But ultimately, my number 1 favorite Sharknado movie is Sharknado 3. Oh hell no. This sequel may have the silliest title, but it may be the best in the franchise. As a matter of fact, Sharknado 3 is the highest rated on IMDb. The main locations in this one include Washington, D.C., specifically the White House, South Carolina, Orlando, Florida, specifically Universal Studios, and finally, Finn literally goes to space in Sharknado 3. The majority of this film, though, is set inside Universal Studios theme park in Florida, which is a huge reason why this is my favorite. Those of you who watch my videos regularly know it's one of my favorite settings in a movie. Theme parks, amusement parks, carnivals, that sort of thing. Sharknado 3 was actually filmed on location in Universal Studios. The characters walk around the park, ride rides, and of course, fight sharks. It's like a Sharknado movie and a virtual tour of the theme park in one. I also love the James Bond opening in this one. Yup, as much as I love all 6 movies in this franchise, Sharknado 3, oh hell no, is probably the one I'll think about most. I gotta be honest though, I already can't wait to revisit all of them. Regardless, Sharknado 3 is my number 1 favorite Sharknado movie. So, there you have it, guys. My ranking of all 6 movies in the Sharknado franchise. What do you think? Have you seen all of these films? If so, how would you rank them? Comment below and let me know. Of course, please be sure to watch Jason's video to see how he has Sharknado Ranked. Which franchise will we rank next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.